Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Maria, and today I'm doing a full face of Dior, and this video is in collab with Dee from Simply Dee Beauty. Dee has a luxury beauty YouTube channel, and she also has a fabulous Instagram page as well. On her Instagram, she does stories every single day of trips out and applying makeup and applying different skincare and also different PR that she's received as well. Her YouTube channel reflects her Instagram page, and she does videos on Get Ready With Me. She uses luxury makeup. She also shows luxury skincare, and she also has some fabulous luxury beauty hauls that include makeup and skincare, and mixed up in that she also does quite a few vlogs as well, and they show different trips out that she has, as well as different makeup and skincare items that she's received as well. So it's really just a fabulous mix of all things luxury beauty. So with Dee's YouTube channel and her Instagram page, I will put links to those below in the description box. So once you've finished watching this video, make sure you check Dee out and tell her that I sent you, and I'm really looking forward to what she's using for her full face of Dior. So I've already got my primer on, and I'm using the fairly new release. It's the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Primer, because for the foundation today I'm using the Dior, it's the Capture Totale, and this is the super potent serum foundation. Now because this is a serum foundation and I have oily skin, I just wanted to use a primer that's just a little bit more mattifying. The Tom Ford isn't a flat matte, but it gives a good base when I want to wear a foundation that isn't that matte and tends to have more of a glowy look. I reached for this about a month ago because I'd almost forgotten that I had it, and I just loved how it looked. And it gives a lot more coverage than I thought it did too initially. For some reason I thought it was a sheer coverage, but on me it really gives medium coverage. And for this time of the year with my oily skin, and it's winter here now in New Zealand, this is just the perfect type of foundation for me. So I'm just going to put just a couple of pumps on my hand. That might be a bit too much. And I'm going to put it on using a damp beauty blender. But it is a really lovely foundation, this one. Now I'm pretty sure, I was trying to have a look at the bottom of the bottle. I think this shade is 2N. Normally I'm 2.5N in Dior foundations, but they don't really have a very big shade range in this. So I went for the 2N, then one that was too dark. But once it's all on and I've got my concealer on and some bronzer, I find that the shade is just fine. But you can see the coverage that it gives. It's really lovely. And on this side you can still see my redness, and the side it is just covering it really, really beautifully. I think that this serum foundation is fantastic for mature skin. I think it's really flattering. It doesn't settle into my lines and wrinkles, and it blurs the pores to a degree as well. It's really, really lovely. So with all that foundation on, I think it gives a really beautiful, very soft look to the skin, and I think it is just a really gorgeous foundation. So for concealer, I'm going to use the Dior, this is the Forever Skin Correct, and this is in the shade 2.5N. I just use a little bit of this. I'm just going to place some in the corner. And then I'm going to take a Sonia G. This is one of her Fusion brushes. This is the soft concealer brush. And like I normally do, I just spread it out in the inner corner first. And then with the excess, I just tap that under the rest of my eye. And once I've done this with the brush, then I do go over and just press it just very carefully with my finger, because the warmth of my fingertips just helps the concealer just to meld into my skin that little bit better. And I do like this concealer. It gives really good coverage. And I was just about to skip my eyebrow part because I thought I really only had Charnelle and a couple of Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencils, but I do have a Dior one. I don't reach for it a lot. There's nothing wrong. Well, I don't find anything wrong with the formula, but it's just the brush at the end. This is the Kabuki Brown Styler, and I just prefer a spoolie, but I do like the shade. This is in the shade 031 Light Brown. So for my eyebrows, I'm not really fussy with them. I just fill them in as best I can and then put a setting gel over the top. And the one that I use is the Benefit, it's the 24-hour gel. So I've powdered under my eyes and the rest of my face. I don't have any Dior setting powders. So for my face, I use the Prairie Skin Caviar, the loose powder. And under my eyes, I've used the new Westman Atelier powder, and that is in the shade Creme. But I do have a Dior bronzer, so this is one that I've used a lot, and you can see from the pan that the logo that was embossed is gone. Went a long time ago. I do love the formula of these bronzers. I think they're really lovely. So this is in the shade 05 Warm Bronze. I just find that these blend really beautifully. I really like the formula of these. I've also got the shade 06 as well. I think that one is sometimes a little bit deep, but it's quite good for summertime. But the shade is just perfect for this time of the year. So for the eyeshadow today, I'm going to use one of the fairly newly released Dior Quints. This is the Velvet Quint, and this is number 519. This is Nude Dentelle. I've done 2 other videos on the blue velvet one and also the coral paisley. I love the formula of these quints. I just think they're absolutely beautiful and they blend beautifully as well. This one is not quite as neutral as I thought it was going to be. It's definitely a little bit warmer leaning, and this is what the quint looks like. I have used it once already, and it is a really beautiful color story. So what I will do is I will swatch these on my arm so you can take a look at them. Now I'm pretty sure these could be sold out at Nordstrom, but I think they're probably still available on the Dior website. But I will link everything that I'm putting on my face today. It will be linked in the description box below. So these 5 shades are swatched from top to bottom and left to right. These 2 here, the 2 top ones are satin, and this is a caramel and this is just a softer caramel. The bottom 2 shades are both the velvets, and this is like a rusty brown and a rich cocoa brown. And this is the middle shade, and that is matte, and that's like a light tan color. It is cooler, and it's got a little bit of pink in it as well. So just before I did the swatches, I actually had to drop everything, turn everything off in the room and go out, and it's now 12 minutes past 3 in the afternoon. So it's over 4 hours to just before I did the swatches until now, and the light in the room here has changed because getting a little bit of the afternoon light, and it sort of changes the lighting on the camera as well. So I haven't touched anything up on my makeup. So for a serum, that foundation is actually holding up really well. And where I had to go, I had to wear a mask, and I was probably wearing that for about 20 minutes or half an hour. There might be a slight bit of wearing here, but considering it's not really a long wear type of foundation, I think it still looks really, really good. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to use all the shades in this quint. I'm going to start off with the middle shade. This is the matte one. And this is the Rapha number 15 brush. And I think I'll just put that all over my lid. Can see it slightly. It does blend really beautifully, and I'm not surprised because the other two quints that I tried out, the formula was beautiful as well. And it's quite effortless to blend them out. They are really, really beautiful. So next I'm going to take the Rapha number 14 and I'm going to go into this shade here. And I'm going to put that through the crease and slightly above. With some of these shades that are on the warmer side, you could have quite a dramatic look if you wanted to. I think today I'll just keep it fairly soft though. And I'm going to keep with the Rapha number 14 and go into this rusty brown shade. And I'll put it through the crease and slightly above. I'm going to add the deeper shade to this area as well, but probably keep that rich cocoa brown just to the very outside. But this velvet formula is really, really beautiful. They blend just so effortlessly. Actually, I think I will be using all the shades. So now I'm going to go into this one here. This is the caramel. This is the Rapha number 2. And I'm going to just place some through here. I think I will go over the top of the shade though, maybe with that middle matte shade just to lighten it up a bit. But it is a really, really beautiful colour. Then we'll take the Rapha number 3, go back into this rust colour, and I'm going to put this my lower lash line, and I'll probably go over a little bit of this with that cocoa brown as well. So I'm going to take the Chukuhodo, this is the F06, and I'll just see what this looks like. I'm going to go into that middle matte shade, and I'm just going to go over the top of this one here. Then I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the mini booster, and go into the deepest shade. And I just want to add a little bit of definition, just a bit of more extra depth to the very outer corner and into the crease. Then I'm going to take the Rapha number 3 again going into this deepest shade here, and I'm going to put that over other shade, my lower lash line. I'll probably just keep it just to the outer third or half. And I actually don't have a Dior eyeliner pencil, but it really doesn't matter. I'm going to use the darkest shade just to give some definition to my upper lash line, and the shade will be easily dark enough to do that. So now I'm just going to curl my eyelashes because I do have a Dior mascara. It's the Dior Show, the Pump and Volume one. So I've been using this mascara probably for about 3 weeks on and off. This one, and then always going back to my favourite, and that's the Charnelle Le Volume. I don't mind this mascara. You're supposed to, it's soft tube here, and you're supposed to just squeeze it a couple of times and then take out the wand. I don't really mind the wand. I just don't know whether it gives... It is a lovely mascara and it doesn't transfer on me or flake or anything like that. I just don't know whether the finished look is as good as what the Charnelle Le Volume gives. But this is what the brush looks like. And I like to really layer my mascara because I don't have the longest of lashes and they're actually quite fair. So this mascara does layer really well. So that is another good thing about it. So the mascara is really nice. I just don't know whether it's as good as the Chanel Le Volume. And even though it's called Chanel Le Volume, I always feel like not only does it add volume, but it also gives just that little bit more length. It might be something to do with the wand, or maybe I'm just used to it and I can use it better. But there's nothing wrong with this mascara. It's just that I still think I prefer the Chanel one. So normally once I've got my mascara on, I just pick up a mirror and look straight ahead, because this eye here falls down slightly more than this eye. And what can happen, especially when I'm doing on video, because I'm sort of looking down a little bit, it can tend not to be even. So I just look straight ahead and I can see that it needs evening up a little bit. So I just grabbed the brushes that I have been using. This was the Rapha 14, and just blend the shadow up just that little bit more. So it's just sort of slight tweaking, but it's just really obvious to me. So that's why I do this. I don't do it on all my videos because otherwise the videos would take too long. But just to double check, I just find that looking straight ahead, you can tell if your eyeshadow's on evenly. So next we'll get into blush. This is a blush that is new to me. This is number 459, and this is Charnelle. And I thought this blush would go really lovely with this eyeshadow. This is a Chukuhodo. This is the F03. And I'm just going to slightly tap in just to see how much colour applies. I can always build it up if I want to. But normally I just like just a soft flush of colour. And this shade is really gorgeous, and I think it goes really nice with this eyeshadow. So for highlighter, I've got one of the Dior Luminizers. This is the one that came out last year. This is number 01 Nude Glow. These are really beautiful luminizers. I use it only as a highlighter though. For me, it gives enough sheen. So just by putting that one layer on, it's definitely enough. These are gorgeous. I think that these are very flattering for mature skin. They don't tend to emphasize your texture, and they just buff out really, really beautifully. And finally is lipstick, and I'm going to use number 100. This is a nude look, but this formulation is the metallic one, and I think that this color is absolutely stunning. It has a slight, very slight sparkle in it, but it just lifts the color of the lipstick, and I just think it is super gorgeous on. It is a really beautiful color. And I love it so much that I'm probably going to get a backup of this. So here is the finished look, and I think altogether it looks really, really beautiful. Now, considering I've been wearing this foundation now, just looking at the time here, at least 4.5 hours, and in between that time I had to wear a mask as well. I think it is holding up really, really beautifully. I haven't repowdered it. Possibly the bronzer that I put on has faded a little bit, but I just really didn't want to touch up before restarting this video again. So I think for a serum foundation on oily skin with just that one powder initially, it's holding up really, really beautifully. I don't think it would in the summer, but it's winter here, and even though it was cold this morning, but later in the day when I had to go out, it was around about 18 or 20 degrees Celsius, and I'm not quite sure what that is in Fahrenheit. And I really love this quint as well. I think it's really lovely. You could definitely go smokier if you wanted to, and you could even go lighter, even if you just use perhaps those top 3 shades, and just for a more deeper look, just stick with these 2 bottom shades. but altogether I think it looks really, really beautiful as well. So it's sort of in between. It's not too light, and for me it's not too dark either, and it's just perfect for every day. The blush Charnelle is gorgeous. I love the colour, and those luminizers over the top are just stunning. I loved them last year when they came out, and I still love them. I just think that they are really, really beautiful. And this lipstick, it's not an everyday type of lipstick for me, but because it has that metallic in it, I just think it just lifts that colour a little bit, and it doesn't look so flat. And I just think it makes the colour just that little bit more special. And like I said, I'll probably get a backup of it. So before I end this video, don't forget to check out Dee's YouTube video and what she put on for a full face of Dior. And also check out her Instagram page as well. As I said at the beginning of the video, both of those links will be in the description box below. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next time. Bye.